was never supposed to live a life like this. Though it's way too good, not as rich as I should.
What's up, Dolphin fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Fin Zone. And anytime BTrill pulls up, you know it's about to get real. The Dolphins are 6-8 and eliminated from any playoff contention, and now the real conversations begin about leadership, direction, or whether this core can actually get it done. BTrill, welcome back to the Fin Zone, my guy.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you having me. Always good to be back. Always good to be here. And yeah, unfortunately, we got a lot to talk about. Not much positive, but we'll try to keep it less ranty and more factual. Not happy after last night's performance. Didn't really get to sleep too well last night. I don't know if you can see the bags under the eyes, but Tyler's keeping me up, but so is this team, man. Oh, whew. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
Isn't that the truth? So, Dolphin fans are split right now. Some want patience, other ones a major change right at the moment. Where do you think the fan base is mentally at this point?
I think a lot of our fan base is along with the team. Eliminated, defeated, already on to next season. We kind of have to be. They did mention in the press conference, a lot of players were saying how, you got to keep the character of keeping just productivity, keeping the game, the integrity of the game. You're not just going to tank the rest for draft picks. That's not what a professional does. So I don't see the Miami Dolphins tanking, but it's not like we have easy opponents, of course, with the rest of the schedule, but we're defeated. Of course, the way the season started, it wasn't high hopes to make the playoffs. But with that winning streak, it kind of gave us some false hope, and false hope is what it ended up being. So,
false hope indeed, man. I know that they weren't going to make the playoffs. It felt like they weren't going to make the playoffs, but I at least wanted them to finish these last games strong, though. You know what I mean?
I wanted that bold prediction that Finn's banger to come true.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So. Does this season feel more disappointing or exposing?
I would say a little bit of both. Of course, it is definitely disappointing, defeating, but exposing of we can't carry the same roster, the same core, maybe even the same coaching. We can't carry that on for the rest of the onto the future. I think time has come for some drastic changes. Not just, hey, let's fire the GM and trade one player before the deadline. I hate the word rebuild, but we'll talk.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, I noticed you said something about the roster there. Any positions in particular, you think?
Of course, you can say we have some strengths, we have some weaknesses, but those glaring holes. It's hard to start rookies and then to point fingers to say, oh, that's a glaring hole. Because, honestly, draft picks, it's rare for them to hit and to be dominating from the get-go. So, we give them the 3-year. Of course, that rookie contract is 4-year with a 5th-year option. But you usually give them about 3 years to make an evaluation. But right now, man, Savi, he is just not a pass blocker. Jonah, our left guard. The guard work, of course, James Daniels, we picked him up in the offseason and hoping for him to fill a gap, but he didn't last too long. Just injuries. But as a whole, offensive line has always been a glaring hole, and I think that's the main reason why Chris Greer was fired. Of course, Aaron Brewer being the staple of that offensive line, but besides him, Patrick Pauls is just not consistent yet.
Okay, you mentioned Chris Greer. He was ultimately held accountable for the way the team was performing at that time. So let's talk about the accountability as of right now. When the seasons end like this, someone has to wear it. Rank these terms in responsibility, all right? So that's the front office, coaching staff, quarterback, roster construction.
Well, the person that touches the ball the most, the person who is in control of the game the most. It is a team sport. It is a lot of factors that go into play to put out a victory. But you have to always start with the quarterback. Eyes, spotlight, it's always on the quarterback. And we gave Tua the weapons. We gave Tua the leash. We gave Tua
the money,
the offense that was fitted to him. But
Don't forget about the money. Don't forget about the money.
Oh, the money we got robbed. He cracked the safe, and oh man, he got the Stephen Ross's cash reserve over there while he was sleeping, and signed him with a concussion, with the shaky hands, and oh man, the money's gonna set us back. I put it out there today how. Somebody released the details of like the dead money and the records that we could break with the dead money, and it doesn't look good at all. It's bad. It's bad. We're pretty much stuck with him for 2 years unless we have a miracle. Unless somebody out there really wants Tua, but he's not. He doesn't look like anybody should want him. So
maybe. Yeah, and I agree. So one of the only options I see out of this is for this guy to restructure that contract.
Yeah. Well, he would have to, but to stick with the segment as in rankings right now, I'm gonna go definitely quarterback. Paired with the quarterback has to be McDaniel. It's his offense. He designed it. So actually, I guess it would go the offense was a separate category as well, right?
It was coaching staff.
Coaching staff as a whole.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go Tua. I'll go coaching staff, and then what was it? Offensive.
No, it was a front office and roster construction.
Yeah. Front office, I would have to say is the bottom. Just because Stephen Ross, he's not a football guy. He needs to be a football guy. He's kind of leaning on hopefully Champ Kelly can be that football guy or whoever else the new GM will be. But yeah, Stephen Ross, he's just the money. So he's just the owner. But as far as the coaching staff, yeah, everybody's accountable, but it definitely Tua, then coaching staff, then I would say the roster, and then we go front office.
Okay, that sounds legit. Is there anyone getting a free pass that shouldn't be?
I feel like Tua and his red flag injury history has been a free pass for too long. That contract proved the free pass. If we got a consistent 2023 Tua, then we would be having a different conversation. But his injury history, his limitations, they're red flags everywhere. Not only is his mobility, but his arm strength. Come on, that duck on Monday night, that was terrible. That was just terrible.
All right, so on the subject of Tua, right? The Tua conversation always gets a little emotional. So let's keep it 100 though, okay? At this point, do you believe we've seen Tua's ceiling, or do you think it's still untapped?
I think 2023 was the ceiling. I think whether it's the bad hip, whether it's the concussions, whether it's his, I don't know, he almost doesn't feel like he has that fight for the game. When you're coming on to the press conferences and saying, whether I win or lose or throw 5 touchdowns or 5 interceptions, I go home, my family loves me. And it's like, well, yeah, that's true. That should be an unwritten rule, but as the face of the franchise, as a starting quarterback in the NFL, you should care with all that money we paid you if you throw 5 interceptions, if you lose the game, and you should be focusing on those 5 touchdowns and that win. But we saw that game, the time management, it just showed like they weren't trying. They kind of gave up. They almost seemed like they just wanted the clock to run to hurry up and get on the plane and warm up. Like, it was a very confusing loss. It was like a breakup, and you don't know why it ended, you know?
Yeah. So what do you say to all the Tua supporters out there that says with a stronger run game and a better offensive line, he'll be fine?
He had the running game. We've had multiple running games. Achane is the running game. Achane is the offense. I think that Tua's had that. He just hasn't been that other factor that keeps it going. He hasn't been consistent enough. It was great with the speed that we had of Tyreek Hill to take the top off the defense, but we don't have that possession wide receiver. We don't have that person to catch over the middle, except for whenever Waller feels like lacing up to step in on the field. It's just too much going on. Too much, man.
Yeah. So would you say that Tua wins because of the system, or will he win in a better system?
No, the system was built around him. He had his expectations. Honestly, I think 2023, if we stayed healthier as a core, that could have been a Super Bowl team. Obviously, I'm biased, but I say that 2023 team, the way Tua was playing, he was lights out. We saw flashes of that last season, but of course he was injured, half the season? It was just, I think Tua had the tools and didn't do what he needed to do.
I concur. That was a shame too, man, because I tell you what, it was some proud moments to be a Dolphin fan back in that 23 season, wasn't it? Man.
Honestly, that's been the best football I've ever seen. One thing I'll say about Tua, though, my buddy brought it up. Tua, if he didn't play in the AFC East, to where majority of his gains were in the Northeast, he should be playing in the NFC South. If he was playing for that division where half his games were either in domes or warm weather, think about what he did in Bama. It'd be a different Tua, honestly. I know the narrative's out there about the weather, but he keeps proving that narrative.
Yeah. Yep. And yesterday's game only set it in deeper, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. And his stats were padded with, because a lot of people look at the stat line and they're like, he did decent. It's like, yeah, his 2 touchdowns were in garbage time. We were down by 28 at that point? Like, it was, it was too late.
Yeah, those 2 touchdowns at the end were just for all the people that bet on him not to score any touchdowns.
Exactly. Yeah, I think literally we're down by 25 at that point. Like, it was,
yeah. All right, BTrill, you know what time it is. It's time for that fin or fiction, bro. You ready?
Let's get it.
All right.
Let's get it.
All right. So, fin or fiction? The Dolphins are built to win in September, not in December.
Yeah, I mean you can say that because of the climate. They're a speed team. They're not a strength team, a pound the rock team. They're a finesse team. When we had Tyreek Hill out there with Jalen Waddle and Achan, we're just a track team. Now you're bringing on the Ollie Gordons and the Jalen Wrights. We started to look a lot better. We started to form the team to be built around that, and I think if we started that earlier, implemented that earlier in the season, we would have had a more successful season.
Yeah. All right. So, fin or fiction? Mike McDaniel needs to bring in a veteran offensive voice.
I think he's too stuck on the play call. I'm gonna say fiction. Because I think he won't let anybody take over the play call. I would say yes, maybe somebody as a vet does need to step in. Yeah, because if you think about it, our offensive coordinators, it's been split. Tua's first 2 seasons, I think we had two offensive coordinators, right?
Yes.
And then they split it off, and then I mean, Mike McDaniel's been the play caller, so he's kind of been the offensive coordinator and the head coach. I'm going to switch. I'm going to say Finn because it should happen, but I'm going to say fiction that it's not going to happen just because of who he is and his pride, because he thinks that's all he brings to the table is his genius play calling. So,
yep, they don't call him Nerd Boy for nothing.
Exactly.
All right. Fin or fiction? The core has 2 years window left.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Finn. The reason I'm gonna go Finn is because we're stuck with Tua for 2 years. After that, we have to tear down. I believe Waddle and Achan. I mean, obviously that's our core. Hopefully Chop Robinson fills the holes. Hopefully our draft class this year steps up. But as of right now, yeah, we got 2 years. I wish we could make big changes now, but that contract, man, it needs to be restructured.
Yeah, man. Oof. I'm just, cause yeah, man. That's how I feel about it, man. It's like I told you earlier, man. I am not opposed to just straight eating it. I am not opposed to eating it. But
yeah, Broncos did it.
The Broncos did it. I mean, let's just say we were to eat that contract, right? I know we don't have a lot of money out there. So why wouldn't we pick up somebody like a Jameis Winston or something like that? Just a stopgap.
Yeah, we do. You know what
I mean? He's serviceable enough to get us through a season.
Yeah.
But again, that's something we'll talk about that later, all right? Because right now, it's time for that Fin Zone banger. Lay it on me, BTrill. What you got?
Ooh. I'll keep it 100 the rest of the season. I say by the second half of the Bucs game. So probably not the Bengals game, but second half of the Bucs game, Quinn Ewers comes in. I say we need to see what we have in him before we go into the offseason. Before we start stacking chips, making trades, developing what our next roster will look like, we got to take a look at the number one position, the quarterback. So there's many, many, many different routes of what we can do, but we could talk about that.
And that's a Fin Zone banger. All right. So now I'm gonna hit you with the rapid fire. All right.
Yeah.
This is when I'm just gonna spit out some questions for you. You hit me with 1 sentence answers.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Biggest offseason need.
Ooh. Quarterback.
One player who must improve in 2025.
Kenneth Grant, your number one pick. Show it. Jordan Phillips has proven you he might take over that spot.
One move that would shock the fan base.
Quinn Ewers dominates in the last game and a half and sparks that conversation for the offseason. I think that Quinn Ewers might be our starter next year. And I'll talk about it after the rapid fire.
All right. That was it. Rapid fire is done. So lay it on me.
Oh, I just think Quinn Ewers, man, he did good in college. He's young. He still has a ceiling. To a ceiling, man, that crumbled along with his eligibility of staying healthy. I just think the only way we can get over this contract situation is that we get a Jameis Winston. We got to either keep Tua or cut the ties and eat the contract. And then Quinn Ewers steps in at quarterback. I think that will be the biggest change to next season, along with offensive line. I think as much as I like Austin Jackson, we got to cut ties with him. He doesn't stay healthy either. James Daniels, thank you for the half a game rental, but you got injured again also. I think we got to cut ties. Like that whole offensive line. Lock up Brewer. Paul, he's got potential. Savi, we're stuck with him because he's a high draft pick. But that right side of the line, I think that will change. And that's no longer a blind side if you got Quinn Ewers, because we no longer have a lefty quarterback. So, I mean, that's what Jalen Ramsey, how he got to that blind side.
That blind side, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention he could have threw that ball away too, because if you can pump fake, you can throw the ball away. But that's here nor there though.
No. Yeah, it was a tough game. Tough game to watch.
Tough game. Now it's gonna lead into a tough week, I'll tell you. BTrill, I always appreciate you coming in and talking with us, man. This won't be the last time I have you on there, I promise. Yes. Dolphins fans, whether you're frustrated or hopeful, we're breaking it all down with no sugar coating. That's how it is in the Fin Zone.
Yeah, we keep it real. We keep it real with the team, from the highs to lows. I mean, we're gonna ride and die with our team, and we're gonna speak our minds. And as you put it, keep it blunt. Don't sugarcoat it. And again, we try to keep it positive because we know there's potential. We know there's some hidden gems because we did deal with some injuries. That secondary. The question is, who do we keep in that secondary? So that's the major question to think about for next offseason. But yeah, it's always been a pleasure. Definitely going to jump on here again more and more and more. The conversation never stops when we get together. So thanks again for having me. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, bro. Fins up.